Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being, and thank you for joining the Royal We Live. Tonight, we're going to be talking about defensiveness and how defensiveness is actually a trap, and it's meant to keep you in a game that you do not want to stay in with an abusive narcissist. We're going to talk more about this defensiveness, this vigilance, if you will, against abusive narcissists. It's one of the worst traps that we can fall into in order to be played into a game of just becoming supply for abusive narcissists. You've heard of that term, supply, right? It's something that they get from you. Well, when you're in a place of defensiveness, that is nothing more than some juicy supply for the abusive narcissist. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and say hi to the people who are signing in and welcome, people. How are you guys doing tonight? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's see who's in here so far. The Royal We fam. It's good to see all you guys. Sherry, what's going on? Revived Lady, Susan, how are you? Anita, Amy, Phil Smith, happy Friday. Nancy, Rabbit, what's going on? Selena G, how are you? Hola. Come on, Eileen, hello. Hi, you guys. A lot of you here on a Friday night. That's fantastic. You know, you guys could be anywhere on a Friday night, but the fact that you're here tonight means that you're serious about healing. You're serious about recovery. You're serious about moving on with your life and moving forward and moving into your best place in life. So, how are you guys? I'm doing good. It's been a long week, but I'm doing great. Hi, D Doll. It's good to see you there. Tanya, it's good to see you. Right on. Beautiful hummingbird. It's good to see you. So glad you're here. Shastina, tomorrow's your birthday. Happy birthday. Hey, everybody, be sure to say happy birthday to Shastina. Throw her some confetti and cakes and thumbs up and give her some love. Happy birthday. That's awesome. Right on. Jules, how are you? Cosmic Inge. Thank God it's Friday and you're still awake. Yes, so am I. I will probably be sleeping in the morning. I didn't like being a supply. Nobody does. All right, guys. Happy birthday. Yes, be sure to give her a lot of birthday wishes. And let's go ahead and get started, guys, with this show tonight. Talk about what we're going to be talking about tonight is defensiveness and just what a horrible thing that defensiveness is actually, how bad it can be, right? It's something that we don't want to have anything to do with, guys. So, and then we'll get to the phone calls. I want to get straight to the phone calls tonight. So I'm not going to talk too long on this, guys, but let's be honest about defensiveness, right? Here's what happens with defensiveness. You know, when you meet an abusive narcissist, you as an empathic person, as a loving person, they know exactly who you are, which is why they enjoy your company. They need you. They need you as a savior. We've talked about this many times. But when you somehow show your humanity, which we are all human beings, right? Nobody's perfect. And they realize that you are not going to be enough to save them from their miserable lives. You're not going to enable them. You're not going to be okay with them being rude and disrespectful and nasty and all the things that narcissistic, abusive people are, right? And so they're not going to allow you to, that in of itself, the fact that you are growing old and when I mean old, I mean tired. The whole situation's growing old to you. You're growing tired of all of the name calling. You're growing tired of the behavior. You're growing tired of it. And just this fact alone, which is a normal thing, guys, this fact alone puts you in a position above the narcissist. They have no choice but to look at themselves and see themselves for who they are. And what it does is it automatically puts them in a position where they are beneath you. This is when the attack starts. And it's not that you think you're better than them. It's not that you are judgmental. It's not that you are any of that stuff, right? And which is what they accuse you of. If you notice that, you'll be accused of that nonstop by narcissists. Oh, you think you're better than everybody. This is their number one thing. You're judgmental. You think you're better than everybody. When it's not that you think you're better than anybody, because you don't. We don't walk around going, oh yeah, I'm better than everybody. No, we don't. But when you say, listen, stop calling me names, it's bothering me. you automatically are putting it, you're automatically in that position where they are seeing and knowing that they're wrong and that you are better than that and that you don't deserve that. This is what causes them to then launch their attack, because they need to drag you down into a place where you do deserve that, where you are the bad person. And so they're going to drag you down to the pit of hell, which is where they are. That's their battleground. That's their arena. And they're going to say, no, you are going to stay in this pit of hell with me in this ring, and you're going to fight. And what happens is you've got an option. You can get the heck out, which is going no contact, which is what you should do. No. I'm not going down. I'm not fighting in that hellfire with you. Okay? That hellfire is your life. And believe me, the hellfire is the abusive narcissist life. Forget about all the stuff that they're posting on social media. Seriously, forget about it. It's a joke. It's a joke. Their real life is a hellfire. They run from person to person. They're worried about how they look, how much money they have, how many tattoos they can have, how badass they are, how tough they are, how cool they are. Could you imagine living worrying about this all the time? What the neighborhood thinks of them, what their image is. This is their life. They're constantly in the pit of hell. That's a hellish life. It's a hellish life. Constantly looking over your back going, how do I look? How do I look? Am I the coolest? What do they think? I got to be tougher. I got to put my shoulders back. I got to put my chest out. I got to walk like I'm tougher than everybody. I got to cuss somebody out now. I got to call somebody names now. I got to yell at this guy. I got to yell at that guy. I got to boom, 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 right? Hellfire. They're living in hellfire, right? That's it. And so what happens when you get caught up in that, you're on the receiving end of that stuff, of their games, and they're trying to drag you down. The moment you get defensive, what are you talking about? Stop. And you start to put up the shield like this guy here in this image, right? With that dragon that's breathing that spitting that fire on him. And he's standing there and he's trying to block it, right? Listen, he's got a couple of options. He can stay there and block it as long, as for a long time, because that dragon's always going to be a dragon. And out of that dragon's mouth is always going to be that hellfire. Okay? There's only one way to defeat the dragon. You slay it. You kill it. Right? But in life around us, we can't go, you're not going to just kill somebody because it's spitting fire at you. You follow me? You're not going to slay the dragon in your life because it's spitting fire at you. So what you have to kill instead is that relationship. That is what's heroic. That is what's courageous. You kill that relationship. Otherwise, you stand there and you become defensive, and you're constantly blocking, and you're trying to block, and you're trying to fight, and you're defending yourself, and you're still stuck in that ring. You're stuck in that hellfire. That the ring is hell, and that dragon's just spitting fire at you, calling you names. You're this and you're that, blah, blah, blah. You think you're better. You're judgmental, on and on and on and on, spraying you with their poison because they're nasty. You know what I mean? That's what they do, just like dragons. And so this is what happens when you become defensive. You're staying stuck there. It's much better to slay that dragon. What does it mean to slay that dragon again? Kill that relationship. Slay that relationship. That is far more heroic. It really is. And so that's what I have to say about that, guys. I hope that it resonates with some of you who are out there who are struggling right now, going back and forth, maybe with family or siblings or half brothers and sisters or whole brothers and sisters, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever it is in your life right now, that's that dragon, right? And they're constantly spraying fire on you, trying to keep you in this ring, this pit of fire. Listen, if you go, they have no one to spray that fire. They got to find someone else to fight with. Let them, right? And so that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. I want to hear your thoughts on this issue, and so I want to go ahead and put up the telephone number. You guys are welcome to call. I'm going to go ahead and turn the telephone on, and I would love to hear your guys' comments, your situations on being defensive. Guys, being defensive is something that I struggled with for a lot longer. Okay, I stayed involved with abusive narcissists, with in-laws and people I had no business being around because I started getting defensive. And they wanted to spit their nonsense and their fire and their lies and call names and this and that. And I was defending myself. Stop it. We got a call from South Carolina. You're live on the Royal We.
Hey, Kev, it's Donnie. I'm from South Carolina. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've gone. It's been 5 months since no contact with my narc, and I rolled over today, and my narc had texted me,
Mm-hmm.
and it freaked me completely out, and I don't know why I have this really weird feelings about him contacting me.
Well, what are the feelings?
Hmm.
What are those feelings?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Like a part of me feels victorious because going no contact was so hard and difficult because it was kind of the first time in my life that I've ever chose to attempt to live without something that I really loved,
Right.
and that was really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
And then the other part of me was a part of me was proud that he broke no contact before I did. Like I was like, huh, you thought you was going to see the day that I was going to contact you. But then, another part of me just felt like I just wanted to bust out and cry. Like I just felt like
All right. Well,
I don't. I
well,
feel like the narc is like.
here's what's going on, right? So, but just based on what you described, okay, it tells me, it tells the community here that what you're doing with no contact is you're almost using it as a game. All right. So you still haven't yet made that life decision that's going to change your life. That says I'm done with this. Right? You're still playing this game. He contacted you back, and there's a part of you going, yes, yes, he's coming back. I won this one. Right? And if you guys want to go back and forth like that, then that will be your life. And you can do that. But, the Royal We motto here is don't live a life like that. That's silly. Games for life like that? Why? What's the outcome? To go through times of all this intense pain and then have this little moment of victory and then pain. You know what I mean? Partnerships in
Yeah.
life shouldn't be like that. There's enough pain in the world outside of any partnership. You follow me? So in a partnership,
Yeah.
you at least have to have that together. If you can't have a partnership that's together, then you'll fail against the rest of the world. Okay? And that's with any partnership. Friendship, family, marriage, it doesn't matter, right? And so you have to really, this is where you have to understand, what do you want in partnerships? What do you want in friendships with people? And if this isn't it, if this friendship, if this partnership is causing more stress in your life and is causing you to focus on this little game, then you're going to be missing out on some real issues in the real world, right? That's
Yeah.
that's really all I got to say about that. You know, I wouldn't look at it as a game. I would take the attempt to contact you, and I would start saying things like, "Do not contact me anymore." And I mean it.
Yeah. I completely shut him out and blocked him back in November, and I was done with the relationship. We had been together for 6 years. He then been to prison for 3 years of those 6 years. I mean, it was a long, grueling, hard relationship. I think to me, he represents a lot of hopes and dreams and wishes that I know will never come true. And it just still kind of feels sad that those things are over. But I am very clear about the fact that it is over and that this is not a relationship that edifies me in any kind of way. And ironically,
That's it.
when he came back, he sent me a series of pictures showing me how physically fit he is now. And he was like, "Look at my evolution. Show me your evolution." And I'm like,
Come
"Dude,
on,
you still don't get
really?
it."
Look at
You still don't get it.
look at my evolution. Really? What are you hanging out with this guy for? That's ridiculous, man. I don't know.
That's
That's
outrageous. No.
Yeah, man.
I know. But I gave my entire life and soul to somebody so ridiculously ridiculous. Like, and I
Well,
didn't know how ridiculous this person was, Kevin. Like,
welcome.
I
Listen,
didn't know going in.
welcome to the Royal We. That's everybody's story here. So you're you know what I mean? This is exactly what it's about. Again, the motto can be this: narcissistic abuse is a result of hanging out with people you have no business being with, doing things you have no business doing, going places you have no business going. And at some point it crashes. We have this realization that's taken that red pill. Your eyes are open. What have I done?
Yeah,
What have I been doing? Right? So
yeah,
you're right where you belong,
yeah,
right? But what you do here going forward is what's really going to matter, right? How long you're going
yeah.
to stay in this game? Are you going to play
I'm not.
another? Are you going to go another round, right? And
I'm
I'll
not.
tell you what, this type of stuff is progressive. So, and
Yeah,
this is just for everybody in the community. When you're at this place where the caller's at right now, where there's temptations and pullings and drawings to get back into this relationship, be warned that the end result of the next round or the third round or the fourth round is double the pain. It increases significantly with each time you go back. And so this is why
yeah,
it's good to be done and know that you're done and know why you're done and know it's for you. It's not to
yeah,
play a game, it's not to hurt them. It's so that you can move on in life with your calling, your passion, who you are, what you want, your values, your integrity, your dignity, everything intact. And what's missing and what's broken, you can gain it back, but you'll never gain it back with the person who robbed all that from you. They'll never give it back to
yeah,
you. Right on?
yeah. Never. I know. Well, thank you,
You're welcome.
and pray for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're in the right spot,
All
man.
right.
Thanks for calling in.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Bye. All right, guys. Telephone line is open. And that is important. I'm glad he called in and shared that. I'm glad that he shared that. And just the whole thing, guys, of how there's this confusion because of the hoovering. There is a such thing as hoovering. Not everybody gets hoovered, but some people do experience that. It can come in all different forms. It can come in a very sarcastic form of hoovering. The hoovering can be a very forceful form. It could be a very alluring form. It could be an apologetic form. When we talk about hoovering, we're talking about the abusive narcissist coming back into your life, either saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm better. I'm narcissist 2.0 now." You know what I mean? Come take this ride, Narc 2.1. Okay, still a narcissist, but they talk a game about how they've improved, or maybe they are apologizing. I'm sorry. I realized that I'm. They don't even know what they're apologizing for. The problem. They're just giving you some story to get back at you again. So whatever the hoovering attempt is, and it might be forceful. It might be one of these things where you're sharing children, co-parenting, and they're trying to force themselves into your life using the children. Oh, you have to meet me here. You have to talk to me about this. You have to. No, you don't have to do anything. All right. But just be mindful that any hoovering attempt, as you engage, the more you engage with these people, the more painful it's going to become, right? Because this is what their life depends on. Narcissist life depends on their control of your space, right? So, in order to end that and send them off, you have to give them nothing. You really do. You have to not engage. Just stay away. Let them live their life. Let them scream from a distance. If they want to apologize, let them apologize across the street, right? If they want to, whatever it is they want to do, just keep your distance, guys. Telephone line is open. That's just my advice on that because of the pain that is usually the consequence of falling for the hoovering attempt. Okay, guys, I want to give a shout out to the moderators right now. I want to give a big thank you to D Doll. Thank you so much, D, for being here and for being welcoming and to everybody that's here. Everybody, be sure to say thank you to D Doll for being a moderator. Also, guys, I did receive some inquiries about being a moderator, and I'm going to be calling people this week. And if you are interested in becoming a moderator for the Royal We, send me an email and with your telephone number, and I will contact you and we'll talk about it to see if it would be a good fit for you. And we're going to go ahead and take a call from Texas. Texas, you're live on the Royal We.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. You're live.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I got through.
Yeah. How are you?
Oh, I'm not good.
Uh-oh. What's going
I'm
on?
not. Basically, we just got home, and I felt like I was in a safe place, and I just kind of let go of all of my anger. Um, I've broken so many plates. I have slashed my finger open. I've pretty much hit rock bottom.
Do you have somebody with you?
No, I don't.
You're alone?
No. Well, he's in the house. I'm sitting outside. But, I've listened to so many of your broadcasts, and I listened this morning about you just letting go of the anger. And I felt like I got to a place where I could feel safe and just let go of my anger. And I did. But
Is this your husband that you're with?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And he's sitting inside. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even care. I've hit rock bottom, and I don't know what to do.
Right.
The mental abuse has just become unbearable.
Well, you definitely have a place here. You definitely have a
I
place
don't know
here.
what to do.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start.
Well, I'm glad you're calling, right? And I just want to let you know before, no matter what, you're loved and you're cared for, right? And we're here for you. And there's a lot of people in this community that are praying for you right now. Okay. And don't
But how do I get out? How do I get out of it? I don't know how to get out of it.
this is something that it's going to be very difficult, right? Now I don't know exactly the details of what's taken place. Okay. Was there an argument tonight?
It's everything. No
Everything.
matter what I do. No matter what I do. It's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I parked the truck wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm boiling eggs at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Why am I doing it in the heat of the afternoon?
Mm-hmm.
It's no matter what I do, it's wrong.
Do you have another place where you can go? Do you have any relatives, or do you have friends at a church?
My daughter's getting married in 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm afraid.
Do you have anybody else?
No, I can't let anybody know
Yes, you can.
what's going on.
You don't have
No,
to spill the details. That's what we're here for. Okay? So you can give the details here, that's fine. We're not talking about running somewhere and giving all the details and telling what's going on. We're talking about just finding a place to say, "Hey, you need a break." This is how you can approach.
but my daughter.
I want to help you. I want to help you get through this situation. I would do this as soon as possible. Okay. You need to take a break.
But my daughter is getting married in 2 weeks.
And that's why I would recommend not your daughter, okay? Only because you don't want to, this is her wedding she's getting prepared for. So you want to respect and honor that. So anybody else, even if it's a friend, a close friend, you just need just to get away, okay? And if you can't get away and stay the night, be able to get away on during the days. You want to create some distance. You need to create distance, okay? You need to find solitude in the situation. It's not going to help you to be around him at this point in time. It's not going to help you to be in this place where you're constantly under the pressure of the attacks, of the verbal and psychological abuse and the fighting and the throwing of the plates and the throwing of the stuff. It's not healthy, right? So I would suggest you focus on first finding distance. It's biblical. Separation is biblical. All right. And this is what you need. I can hear it in your voice. You need to be separated. Don't think that he's going to.
I know.
Yeah. So
But
he's.
he won't. He won't. He won't.
He's not
Leave
going
me
to. No,
alone.
he won't. They won't do that. He's not going to do anything that you say. Narcissists don't do things that people ask them to do. Narcissists don't do things people tell them to do, let alone ask them to do, right? He's going to throw it in your face like you're the one with the problem. So this is where you have to find the strength and the courage in yourself. And you've got it. We all have it. That courage and that strength to say, I need a break. You're not telling the narcissist, you need to break from me. No, you're saying, I need a break. I'm out of here. And you need to find a safe place to go for a little while. Okay? And you need to be able to.
I don't know how to do that.
It's one step at a time. It's first, like I said, it's first finding if there's somebody that you can go to. Okay? Or if it's just separating your, and if you don't have what's that?
This has been going on. This has been going on for 12 years.
Right.
And I've left him so many times that he figures out a way to get back to me.
It stops with you. It stops with you. It stops with you. It stops with you. Right? So, I mean, you can, when you say he figures, when you say he figures out a way to get back to you, you need to have a better lock combination on your life, right? So that he doesn't get to you. Okay. And you need to keep that distance, right? And I would definitely stop. I believe in these situations, and I don't know for certain, but one of the things that hurts so bad is more than likely you continue to give and give and give in the situation, and you're trying to fix things, you're trying to make sure things go smooth, and you're being demeaned and devalued and psychologically abused at the same time. Is that correct? Are you
No matter what I do.
Are you giving?
No matter what I do.
Are you giving a lot in the relationship?
I am. No matter what I do.
Exactly.
It's not good enough.
So stop. So now, instead of overexerting yourself, trying to do all this stuff and being criticized and ridiculed, now it's time to give and show what is the reward of being criticized and demeaned and devalued. And do you know what the reward of being criticized is? It's nothing. So I would suggest you withhold. Don't reward bad behavior. Because when you reward psychological abuse, when you reward psychological aggression, when you give your body and your sex and cooking and all this stuff to this person, even though you're crying, you're telling them that that's okay. You're hurting me, you're destroying me, but I'll do whatever you want. You're telling them it's okay. It's okay. This becomes borderline enabling. Okay, so this is why it stops with you. So the first thing I would do, stop rewarding the bad behavior, like immediately. What's that?
I can't. He's a cop. No matter.
It doesn't matter.
No matter
It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what the position is. It doesn't.
I feel like I get into this safe spot because if he acts up in this county, or he shows his true feelings, still I just don't feel like nobody will listen to me.
Uh,
Because he puts on
I know, but again, but you can't stay in this. You can't stay in this defeated place.
this amazing person.
Yeah,
And
you can't.
I know
You can't. You can't stay in this defeated place. Right. So this is gonna. That's I'm doing the best I can to give you some suggestions. All right. Stop rewarding the bad behavior. If you have a safe place where you can go, I would go there. Right. And if it's that bad, okay. If not, if you're going to stay there, I would suggest you don't engage. If there's the demeaning, devaluing comments, things like that, the psychological aggression, you've got to shut that out. Don't engage with it. Right. That's
okay.
if you're gonna stay there, that's the best thing you could do for yourself. Right. Because it's not going to change, but don't engage with it.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I know it's tough. I know it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
It is hard.
And I was trying to figure out earlier how to email you because it's not just me that's involved in this mental abuse. It's his dad and his son.
Yeah.
And you should just really think about doing a broadcast on how parents feel of narcissistic children, because his dad has endured so much, and I love his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I will be talking more about that. Parents and children and family, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to. All right? I will.
Yeah. You
Okay.
need to.
All right.
It's not just spousal. It has to do with parents and children as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I will. Well,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling. I know that it's hard. I know it's difficult. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Good night. It's a real difficult situation when you are dealing with an environment that you feel stuck in, guys, and you don't exactly know how to get out of it, and that is what we heard with that caller, and you could feel like you have nowhere to go, right? It'd be my hope that anybody in that situation could immediately have somewhere to go, and I typically fall under the we got a caller from Oklahoma. Hold on one second, Oklahoma. I am under the mindset that if you really want to find a way out, you can find a way out, right? Depending on what's going on in the situation. Obviously, we didn't have all of the details. All we know is that the person who called in was very hurt and very broken at that moment, but we don't know the details over the span of the relationship. But when you really want out and you're really done, you can get out and you can be done. It's hard. It's difficult. It takes courage. It takes strength. Again, it's slaying that dragon. It's slaying that relationship. Not easy, right? Let's take this call from Oklahoma. You're live on the Royal We.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for taking my call.
You're
My
welcome.
name's Julie.
Hi, Julie.
And I wanted to help with the last caller just a little bit. My narc that I was married to for 10 years was also a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And it is definitely important for anybody who's going through this, not just an officer's wife, but anybody. If you cannot get away right away, at least reach out to any of your local behavioral health centers and get counseling for yourself.
Right.
And you don't have to think of it as, mental health counseling or depression counseling. I mean, you're just able to go in there and find somebody that you feel comfortable with and talk to. You know,
I appreciate your
we
call.
tried.
I'm glad you called. I really am.
We,
Because that was a
we
difficult
tried.
telephone call.
It definitely was, and it just reminded me that so many times I had tried to get him to go to counseling, get him to get help. But of course, I can't fix him. So
Mhm.
what helped everything was me getting better, me getting stronger, and me understanding that I could step away from the situation. And
Right.
that's what your last caller needs to do. She needs to be prepared to leave, but she has to be okay with herself first.
Right. Right. And thank you so much. And that's why I was encouraging that, but at the same time I felt the need to uh, not be so harsh in that tactic of
Oh,
pushing her to get out, because I just sensed in her voice that that wasn't where she was at in it.
definitely. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people listening now or that have watched your videos that, they're watching them as a step towards that, as a
Right.
step towards getting fully away. And that's perfect. That's learning. That's growth. That's what we all need to do.
Yeah. And
So
so
thank you so much.
your advice in the situation is definitely to find the way to get healing, to get the counseling you
Yes,
need. And I think that's excellent advice. I'm glad you called and brought that up. I believe that's the perfect way to go about this, is start to heal those traumas on your own. And so hopefully she's still listening in and is in the community, and will take that to heart, to find some counseling,
I,
find physical people to talk to, whether it's counseling through church or counseling you pay. Just find people to be able to process this with. That would be the best way to go.
absolutely. Thank you, Kevin.
Right on. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Bye bye.
Yeah, I appreciated that, because it was a difficult, phone call when you know they're in that place and you don't quite know. You can't push them too far as oh, just get up and walk away. That seems to be it's easier said than done in these relationships. I know how difficult it can be to leave these relationships, especially after 10 years, 12 years of marriage. You can't just get up and walk away. No contact just doesn't happen like that. So the ideal solution is to find some solitude, create some distance between you and the psychologically abusive person, the narcissist, right? And start to look for ways to heal yourself, either through counseling or group counseling. I often recommend Celebrate Recovery. It's a program that's free every Friday night. It's not professional counseling, but at least it's a place and it's a community where you can go and you can talk, not blame and not this and that, and create, it's just talk. Get your feelings out, get your emotions out, process what it is you're going through. This is important. But ideally, you would have a good one-on-one counselor that you can find to talk to, a therapist to help you through the situation as well, so that you can build up the strength and the courage, as this caller just said, to be able to make the hard decisions that you need to make, which does take courage. It's very hard when you are in narcissistic abuse to have that courage, because you're so beaten down. We got a call from Georgia. You're live on the Royal We.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi, I had tried to contact you earlier. My name is Sonia,
How are you?
and I'm here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like I was in a autistic narcissist relationship. I'm not for sure, but I'm kind of confused.
Okay.
And the things that I went through was verbally, mentally, physically, emotionally abused. Um, where I was called certain names
Okay.
when I didn't do what you wanted me to do. I felt like I was being controlled,
Right.
and I just got out of it 4 months ago. But
S-
my thing is what I'm battling now is that I have done no contact, but they did try to call my mom a couple of times about certain things or whatnot.
Right.
But I haven't been. I didn't get hoovered or anything like that. But what I want to say is, and I need some advice on this, because it's hurting me. Just 2 days ago, someone at work showed me this Facebook picture of this girl, and where she photocopied his picture and put it next to hers, and they're saying that they're in a relationship, but he didn't do it. She tagged him and put it on his Facebook page, and he made a comment and said, that's my boo or whatever. And then at the top of his profile page, it said that his name, his name is in a relationship with the female or whatever. And I'm kind of confused because I feel like, from watching your videos and other videos, researching and trying to learn what this person is or was.
Is real quick, is it? It sounds like you have a fire alarm going off or chirping in the background. Is that what that is?
No, I don't have a fire alarm. I don't know what that is.
I hear a chirp over the phone.
No, because I'm here in my room alone.
Okay.
And
okay.
And I'm not.
Well,
can you hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just every now and then there's a chirp, a loud chirp.
Oh, that is the little buzzer. I forgot. It is.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
It'll beep. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it'll beep. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't an issue. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a beep. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm having a hard time, and I'm thinking, I'm confused. Is it something that he's doing to try to, get my attention or reaction?
Yeah. So here's the issue. When you're separated from an abusive narcissist, and to answer your question, yes, you are. If you're with somebody who demeans you, devalues you, cuts you down, there's no question about it. There's no empathy in that. There's no love in that. So yes, you're with a narcissist, right? To answer your first question, because at first you were tiptoeing up to this, to wondering, I don't know if he's a narcissist. He calls me names. He yells at me. He's cheating on me or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? All this stuff. Yes, that is a complete lack of love, a lack of care and concern for you, a very toxic relationship you don't need to be in any part of. Okay, so that's solved, and let's get that out of the way. Now moving on, and this is going to be the most difficult part for you. Going no contact, don't make the mistake of thinking that going no contact means that all that means is that you can't talk to him over the phone, okay? That's not what no contact is. No contact is you doing everything that you can do to stay away from any type of association with him. No contact is rules that you put around yourself, not around him. It's rules you put around yourself to create a boundary around you so that you can heal and so that you can process this toxic relationship and so that you can refine yourself, okay? And you're not going no contact if you're looking at his social media or if you have friends at work showing you his social media. You've got to say, knock it off. You've got to tell the people at work, don't show me any of his stuff. We're done.
Well, what happened is his cousin came up. He didn't know anything about me and him had broken up.
You should not be hanging out with his cousin. That breaks no contact.
His cousin worked for where I work. He used to work there as well. So they're Facebook friends.
Okay.
And he was telling me that, and then he said, no. He said, I ain't gonna lie to you. He said, nobody didn't tell me. And then that's when he showed me that. And I was like, okay, well, and then, I had got upset and I went to my girlfriend,
right,
and she wanted to see, what was going on. So that's when she did that. But she said that
it's going to upset you. It's going to upset you every time.
Yeah. She said, I hate that he shows you that. And she said, now look, she said, you was doing good. And she said that she said he didn't do it, she did it. But the thing is, she
doesn't
said
matter.
What
It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter. It's a big game. It's a big game.
and,
Get
and
it.
I feel
Get out of it.
and what's making me feel bad about it is because I feel ashamed and embarrassed because
Right.
he would never put me on Facebook or say anything
Right.
about us on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm having a hard time
I
doing it.
know.
But
That's
my
why.
daughter
That's why you.
told me,
But that's why you need to not know about what's going on. Right.
and see, I
And listen,
myself on
listen,
my.
I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you, I know the story because I was there.
Mhm.
I was there. Not in the same way, not in a
Mhm.
relationship, but I was with family and people who were demeaning and devaluing me, calling me names, this and that. And then on social media they were trying to tell me how horrible of a person I was, but then they were telling each other and everybody else and even other members of my family who they don't even know and have a relationship with, oh, you're cool and this and that, saying the things that I thought that I should be getting from them. It made no sense to me. And so this is how they operate. So what you have to do is cut them out completely. And you have to cut not only this guy out, but you got to cut out the cousins and stuff too. Because all of these people are
No, I don't.
keeping
I
you,
don't.
they're
I mean, I
keeping,
don't.
it doesn't matter. Even at work, you got to stop hanging out. Listen, whatever it takes, tell them, listen, go do your job, leave me alone. You've got to stop with this web of people. And I'm not saying this to try to be, combative or argumentative. I'm telling you this as a place from healing because it's the only way you're going to heal and move on with your life. Right?
Yeah, because I don't go up on his Facebook page because I blocked him from my Facebook page,
Right.
and I don't use nobody else's phone to try to find out what's going on with him. And he just came up to me to, because he didn't know that we had broke up because I didn't tell him or anything. I didn't say anything, and it's been 4 months, since I broken up with him.
Right.
And this just came up the other day when he showed me that, and he was
Sure.
just like, and I'm just trying to see, is it something real or is it something fake? Is it a facade
It doesn't matter. Why does it matter? You need to get away from this guy. So I'm trying to tell
I'm
you.
not around him or anything because
So,
I've moved back home.
Okay.
I was living in Dublin, Georgia with him, but I'm in Americus, Georgia. I moved back home with my mom. So I'm nowhere near him or anything like
Okay.
that,
Good.
So I just don't want to be feeling bad about it and looking bad and embarrassed because that is on Facebook.
You're gonna feel bad every time you even think of his Facebook or you think of any. So stay away from it. My suggestion to you, and I suggest this to everybody, get off of Facebook altogether for a while. Just get off it.
I mean, I'm not on it.
Okay.
I'm not on it.
So I know I know you're upset. I know you're frustrated. I know you're in pain. I know, well, he's moving on. He's doing this live. He's putting other girls on there, whatever. And I just want to know if it's real or not. And you're missing my point. I'm telling you, stop caring. Because you're going to drive yourself nuts trying to figure out what he's doing.
We weren't Facebook friends. He didn't want to be Facebook friends.
Good.
But this person is a Facebook friend.
But get off of it. Get away from it. Obviously, it's not good for you. It's why you're calling. It's why you're having a hard time. Is because of a Facebook friend. So you're the answer. You've got the answer to your problem here. Get off it. Don't mess around on it. Right. That's your only option.
Mm-hmm.
If
so
that's
how do I?
just turn it off. And then
it's like for me, it's hard for me, to let go because of the things that I've done. What's really bothering me is because I wasn't good to him, and then he ended up calling the police on me for no reason when I was living with him, and I did nothing.
Yeah,
and that bothers me because he did that.
That's right. It's going to bother you, but this has to be your sign. You're messing with in a toxic relationship. You've got to get out, and you've got to not only get out physically. I know you're going to tell me, "Well, I moved out and this and that." I get that, but you've got to cut yourself away mentally and emotionally now. Okay, it does no good to move away physically. And trust me, I know it happens in these steps. First, you move away physically, okay. But then you start to move away emotionally. Okay, it's going to take some time. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to start cutting these. I wish somebody would have been on me When I first moved from from where I was to where I am now, I wish somebody would have been on me saying, stop going on social media. Stop talking to this person and that person and this person, because these are your open doors, Kevin, to the abusive narcissist. You've got to close each and every one of these doors. I wish I had that person in my life. It would have saved me a long time of finding out of what's going on with them and who's going. You know what I mean? I was always in that loop because of these other connections. Get rid of these connections, you'll get out of that loop. It's going to be painful. It's going to take time, but eventually you'll get through it. Okay? But every time you come across this person, every time you talk about what's going on in his life, every time you take a peek, it's going to set you back in your healing 50 yards, right? And then you got to make up that distance all over again, right? I've been there. I know. So I'm trying to help stop you now. Don't knock yourself back 50 yards in healing. Start where you are and
So I should
push forward.
be embarrassed or ashamed.
No,
Okay.
you should let go, right?
Okay. Because I'm the one who left. I left.
Good. Now stay with that
left.
decision. Stay with that decision. If you left,
Okay.
you made a good decision, and you win so long as you stay away, right?
Okay.
And you really move on. I mean, really move on. Not just playing a game, pretending to move on. I mean, you really move on.
No, I don't want him back. I don't want to go back. I want to get him out of my soul for good. You know, I don't even want to think about him at all because he did me wrong.
I know he
and
did.
I did nothing.
I know. We all know. We understand that. This whole community gets that. That's how they operate. This is why you have no business being with this person, right? Again, narcissistic abuse is being with people you have no business being with, doing things you have no business doing, going places you have no business going. I'm going to get this typed up and put on the wall behind me so everybody can see it. And the more you long and the more you get into this relationship, what you're saying is, I will walk into a relationship with, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but to anybody else who's listening, I'm going to keep walking into this relationship where this person does things to me even though I'm innocent doing nothing. This is their life. This is who they are.
For 3 years.
That's right. So, and that's who they are. They're not going to change for you. So the shame that you're really feeling, okay, ultimately you're going to discover this, is that you gave yourself to somebody like that. That's where the real shame is. That's where the real shame is. And it's easier to look at the narcissist and blame them. You did this and you didn't. You're dating and how dare you? Blah, 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 blah. But in reality, at some point, you're going to, because I did too, you're going to turn around and go, why did I give my time and energy to that? Why?
And they always blame me for everything.
But guess what? If you're out of the picture and you're no longer around, how are they going to blame you? How are they going to blame you? You're not there to be blamed. That's what I had to do. Listen, guys, and let this be a lesson to the whole community, but you guys already know this in the community. Narcissists want you around to blame you. They need somebody to blame their miserable lives on. And it makes them feel good. It makes them feel better about their own lives, right? They live in the gutter, but if they can point out somebody else and put them in a gutter, they feel better. So they need you because they need someone to blame. So if you take yourself out of the relationship, doesn't matter if it's family or friends or whatever it is, get yourself out of there. Guess what? They can't blame you anymore. Now they have to face their own miserable life. Or find somebody else to blame. They're never happy. No, they aren't happy. They're never happy. Okay. Don't buy into. I know people are going to be. They act happy, and it's an act. Just like they acted happy when they met you. Just like the first few weeks of the relationship were fun and exciting. That's not real happiness. That's momentary moments of excitement, of lust and greed and whatever else. It's not happiness. There's no joy.
Okay.
They're not happy. They're not joyful.
Okay.
They're not. Most overt narcissists would actually admit it. I'm not happy. Right? It's the covert narcissists who have a problem admitting it. And so they live this double life where they act happy on social media or around certain groups of friends that they're not with all the time or with new people they meet. But for the most part, once you get to know them, you see that dark, sinister, nasty, demon-like entity that torments their everyday life. That's what you're experiencing when you're being demeaned and devalued, cursed at, cussed at, called names, criticized, ridiculed. You're experiencing the true evil entity, the sadness, the misery that really is the root of their life. You follow
And
me?
they told me never change.
And that does not change.
They told me that.
That doesn't change unless they get a lot of really deep help on their own. Not through you, not through me, but some deep help. Right?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right, Kevin.
I'm glad you called. Thank you. I know it's tough.
Thank you.
I know I gave you some tough love, but it's a hard situation. I know.
Yeah, and I appreciate you.
Thank you
so much.
Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. We went a little bit over time here tonight, but thank you so much for the telephone calls, guys. Thank you, everybody who called. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to be able to talk about these issues and what you're going through. And I want to thank the community and also the moderators. Thank you for making sure that the Royal We is a safe place for people to be, because this is a place of healing, and we want to make sure it stays that way, guys. I want to let you guys know that you're welcome to donate to the Royal We. There's a PayPal link on the homepage of the Royal We channel. I encourage you guys to visit that, to donate if you can. You can also donate through the merchandise. There's a link down below where you can purchase T-shirts and coffee mugs. This is an excellent way to donate, but also support the Royal We and support it while you're out and about, and being able to show and to support the Royal We and what we represent. And so thank you so much, guys, for everything tonight. I want to encourage you guys to get a good night's sleep. And I also want to encourage, because that's what I need right now too, but I also want to encourage you to be here Monday. We're going to take the weekend off. Have a great weekend, everybody. I encourage you to be here Monday, 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the Royal We, where we'll pick up, and hopefully those of you who have been wanting to call will call in Monday. And I look forward to being back with you guys on Monday night, 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the Royal We. Have a great night, everybody.